Hi, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on January 30th, 2026. But don't be discouraged when you click into this reading, hoping that it would be for this day. There's a message that's trying to get through and try to reveal something for you today. And if you want to go ahead and jump into the description box so you can dive into the timestamp, you're more than welcome to, so that way I can get the rest of the intro and the disclaimers out of the way. First off, if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Thank you for making it another trip around the world with us today. I always want everyone to feel whenever they enter into one of these readings that they feel as if they matter and you do have something to celebrate, always. And secondly, always remember you are in charge of the wheel that is in your hands, and whatever advice is being revealed today is not the only thing you should follow. You should always listen to your intuition and your gut. Especially if the reading is not resonating or clicking, you definitely do not want to try to jam a key into something that won't unlock for you or has no attachments to what may be going on. But also, speaking of advice, I can only give either advice that the guides are sharing or my personal experiences that I may have been through myself. And if I feel like there's a memory coming up or something that I may have seen before, then I will be more than happy to share. And hopefully it also helps you. So always remember, I can't give professional advice. But other than that, today's reading is going to look a little bit different because I have my Starseed cards and I have my Inner Child Oracle. I felt called to really kind of change things up. It was very hard for me to get started today, so I felt, well, maybe I should experiment with my other cards that I have and see what kind of message comes through. And I feel like Spirit has came through today. Now, because I don't know most about these cards right here because I haven't worked with them as much, I will have to lean heavily on the book itself in order to read from them. But let's go ahead and dive into the affirmation that we have today. So I am unique, and this makes a lot of sense if you felt called to this reading and felt called to these cards that are in the background, because you may have felt like you were out of place growing up, or just out of place in your friendships, your relationships, where you were with your coworkers. You may have had interests that were a lot more different than what other people would have had. You may have felt called to the stars or felt as if you didn't belong in a specific time period. You just felt out of place. But this card wants you to know that you are unique. You have a frequency that is much more different than most people. And it almost reminds me of, like, everyone is doing their day-to-day jobs, they're doing their day-to-day routines, and you feel kind of out of place from those routines that are going on around you, and there's nothing to be ashamed about. So allow yourself to embrace that you are unique. You bring differences that enable the collective in order to solve problems that need a different mindset, if you will. And I rolled my dice. If you ever notice that my dice is changing, it's because I'm leaning heavily on what may be playing for my astrology crew. So we have Aries coming to play. So feeling unique and always having that energy that just constantly goes. You have an idea that presents itself and it gravitates within your soul and causes you to want to find ways to ground it in reality. So you always try to go after whatever it may be. It's going to be a passion that you have or a hobby you have, or you, just like with the Aquarians, when they see a need and need to fulfill that need to make society a much better place, the Aries people, as soon as they see it, they take off. And so allow yourself to see how unique you are in this moment. Your self-love oracle for today is: repeat to yourself 3 times, I love you and your name. Allow yourself to say I love you because you're unique. Allow yourself to say I love you because I provide answers to the questions and the riddles that are there within the universe, so that way they may be solved and everyone may be able to go on their own journeys as well. But allow yourself to say I love you with your name in it 3 times. Now, let's go ahead and dive into these two cards right here. And originally, I pulled these cards as confirmation for these oracle cards here, but let's go ahead and see. Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So right off the bat, there is a lot that is being healed within you down to your cells. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you were sick or that you have this infection that you're trying to get over. This could talk about just really wanting to replace your whole energy field from deep within. But let me go ahead and read from Deep Cellular Healing. Okay. Your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you're suffering from a mystery of chronic illness or don't allow yourself to think, if you're suffering from a mystery or chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on your healing in practical ways, to prioritize your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, to give yourself the grounding and care you need, to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You may be called to switch things up with your body or your emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges you may be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin, to have your cells return to effervescence and vitality, to find calmness and contentedness, to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. And so the affirmation that this card says is, I take back my vitality and energy and feel more and more healthy each and every day. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. It's like you're needing to trust yourself that whatever you may be going through, you're going to be able to heal from this situation, whether this be through a breakup, whether this be through some kind of loss you may have had in your life, but your body knows how to heal. If you were to cut your hand right now, within a couple days, even within a week's time, you would find that it would heal on its own. And your guides are wanting you to see that you have that ability to do that. And it is miraculous that your body can do that. So whatever physical or emotional issues you may be experiencing, allow yourself to go ahead and go through this deep cellular healing where you can actually feel yourself recover. So the two cards that I had that went with this Starseed Oracle was the World and the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups in reverse has been coming out, and so you may have felt like you were out of place, like you didn't click with certain groups, and the world coming in is wanting you to show that there is a world for you out there. There are people who are just like you, that feel just like you, that heal just like you, that heal others, and provide that cellular healing that you, not just for yourself, but for the people that are around you. People are just, they can sense something from you where when you are talking, the vibration of your voice itself is very healing. You provide the elixirs that people need in order to cut back their addictions, because this, with the Three of Cups being in reverse, it talks about people who are partying too much or people who are not in tune with their alignment, and it's almost like they prevent themselves from walking through this door right here where they can have the world for themselves. But you are much more different and much more unique, because when you know you do not belong to something, you do not try to force yourself to fit in. You would much rather create a world for yourself where people who are like you can join in on that. But you are also completing something here by looking at the relationships that are around you that do not bring, they don't bring any kind of creative flow or growth to your world. And you're seeing, how can I heal from these relationships, especially the ones that try to make me fit or mold or try to make me wear what it is that they would be wearing. And this almost makes me feel as if this would be you, the one that's in the center. All of these other individuals are looking up and they have their cups raised, hoping that something would pour into their cup almost, because we have this black background, if I can speak. And something clicked within you, not with these individuals, and you discovered, that's not how I'm going to be able to fill my cup. I'm going to need to leave these people, this situation that is not fulfilling me, and find ways to fill my cup for myself. And that is why the world is coming forward through to you and showing you that you yourself are going to be able to provide the healing and nourishment that you need in this moment. Now, over here in this plane, we have forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. You may have been looking towards others in order to lead you the way, but then the longer you stayed here and realized that with your arm being up in the air, your arm got tired and you were wondering, how long am I going to have to do this in order to wait for some kind of healing sustenance to come in? And that's when you discovered that you needed to be the leader. But let's go ahead and read from the book. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail, like being unable to find someone to show you the way, be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason, here, just a second. Oh my goodness, my voice. Don't let a small detail, like being unable to find someone to show you the way, be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a new path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all those who also feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who will follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. And the inquiry that this card talks about or asks of you is, how are you being called to forge rather than follow? And how can you be the leader you wish you had? And I love that this card comes up with my inner child oracle, because one of the best healing things you can do for yourself is what can you provide for your inner child that was not provided to your world growing up, and be that source of healing that your inner child needs. But we have the Tower in reverse, and I love that it is in reverse, because there is this realization that is coming through where the people that you are around, the world that you live in the certain circumstances you may have grown up to live in, have not been very steady. And so now you are trying to shake things up and rebuild the tower in which that you were born in, so that way it does not crumble beneath you. But you are going through this awakening. You're having this revelation that is coming through. And I thought I wrote something down for this. But this card is telling you are going through a major personal transformation. And you're not waiting for the tower to fall down. You're actually leaping out of it. You know that it's going to burst into flames on its own and lightning's hitting it, and by doing so, by throwing yourself into this healing liquid, if you will, that's being poured out, you are avoiding a lot more disaster. You're avoiding a lot more pain and certain doom, if you will. But what I love about this, with this coming in with a deep cellular healing, is when you recognize that you need to step away from your world in order to heal, you don't force yourself to go to these individuals and fake a, yeah, I'm all right. I'm not feeling too good, but yeah, I that's all right. I can go out with y'all. But you're ignoring that and causing yourself from getting sick even more. If this is talking about someone who may be trying to avoid getting sick, it's like, you know, you would like to go out and be with your friends, but you also know that that's not the best thing for you right now. So you're kind of stepping back. For your inner child oracle, we have remember the good. In life, it can be easy to focus on what is missing, on what could be better. But if that is where our attention stays, it will hinder us in being able to absorb the magic of living. Take time today to purposefully acknowledge the good things in your life, those that are around you, and those you yourself have accomplished. Think about the things you have accomplished. Oh my goodness. You may want a little bit of clarity in your life since I've got this quartz crystal coming out. But be clear about the path that you want to walk down. Be clear about what specific thing it is within your body or your physical or emotional well-being you want to have healed. Or even the relationships that you have around you. What kind of healing do you want to come from that, and if these people are willing to heal themselves. But this is the reading I have today. I know it was very short and simple, and I had to do a lot of reading, but if you can't tell, I'm about to lose my voice, and I just wanted to be able to come out here and provide a reading for my collective world, and hopefully it may help somebody. Let me know how it resonates, and if you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. That way you can see more, and if you know anyone who would benefit from this message, please share with them. But I'm going to go ahead and head out of here, guys. Bye.